But what they intend for evil, we will use for good. What they intend to harm, we will repair. What they intend to silence, we will say boldly. What they intend to erase, we will uncover. I was reading through Sharon Says So. She's an account on Instagram. She's a former law and government teacher, and she was talking about the impact of people being erased from history. And I'll say this content. Well, we're gonna delve in a little bit into this, but I think it's important just to say really quickly. I just want to read it because it's really powerful in my opinion, and I hope that no one's gonna be offended by it because it's important. I think, especially. So content warning. I know I was like, we're not gonna do politics. I will just tell you this because I do talk about speaking up if you see racism or anti-Semitism or silencing of minorities on my channel. And this is just going to be a gentle, like, I'm just going to read something and it's not inflammatory. Someone was asking, so this is a question from Sharon Says So, and I'm going to read it. I think it's the way that she words stuff. It's really kind and clear and comes from an educator's position. And then we'll get into like watching Phil or watching Pearl parties or something lighthearted. But here's the question that came in. And it said, as an African-American parent of 3 kids, how do I explain the removal of our history and important African-American figures from the school district's curriculum? There's stuff that's going on in different states here in the U.S., but also, if you don't know, 2 legislators in Tennessee who are black, and a white legislator who's a woman, they were protesting gun violence in the legislature. And since the 2 black men have been removed and the white woman did not get removed. So it is, it's sad. And here's, that's kind of, there's other stuff going on too with history and stuff like that. So this is Sharon's response, but it said, first of all, this shouldn't be happening. It's not okay and it's not right. You shouldn't have to explain it to your kids. You shouldn't. Secondly, I will never hold myself up as a parenting expert because I am not, so please take what I have to say in the spirit of being a mother and an educator, but not a parenting expert. I might be inclined to say to my children, this is not the first time they have tried to erase people, and it probably won't be the last. This is not the first time they have seen names and faces that threatened the status quo and crossed them off the list, and it probably won't be the last. This is not the first time they have gained power for the purpose of abusing it, and it probably won't be the last. But what they intend for evil, we will use for good. What they intend to harm, we will repair. What they intend to silence, we will say boldly. What they intend to erase, we will uncover. What they intend to demean, we will uplift. Those they want us to fear, we will embrace. We are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses who see the struggle and know the truth, and the struggle will not be in vain. What is done in darkness will be brought to light, and we all, every one of us, of every age and race and creed, must be the light that shines in every corner of this nation, the light that looks under the rugs and in the closets and draws into the sun what others have sought to conceal. And so, yes, the struggle is real. I'm not saying it won't be hard, but I am saying it will be worth it. I'm saying the struggle is not yours alone to bear. It is all of ours, and we will bear one another's burdens and hold each other up when we are tired. I'm saying we will learn to rest on the journey, but we will not quit. And then she posted a quote from Martin Luther King. But it said, and we shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And there's a lot of shit happening in the world, and I'm not one to just stick my head in the sand and say, like, I can't handle it, so I'm not going to talk about it, but in small pockets where I hope we can talk about stuff like this, where it's important to speak out. I don't know, I just thought that was important to read. Whether you're standing up against racism or anti-Semitism or injustice or, multi-level marketing scams or taking advantage of people, it's like, I think it's all important, and that just resonated with me because the way she said it. And you're right, and it does not bend on its own. People need to bend it towards justice. So, exactly. And I think it's people like Shelby, it's people in the live chat. It's not just on public platforms, it's in our everyday life. It's making small decisions and choices as we learn together, and it's also standing together for justice and